Danny's ready to get this party started. Hey, Danny. 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 Morning, everybody. My name's Bill. This is Power Solutions Forestry, and we have to finish up the 2x12 order that we started yesterday. I got a 12-footer up here on the mill. It is in one spot about 1 inch short of 12 feet. I talked to the customer last night, said, hey, if a couple of these are 11-11, 11-10, is that going to be okay? He said, yeah, sure. They're just going to be raised beds. So we're going to cut this one. It's perfect. I need 2 at a minimum, and that's going to leave him with 2 2x12s that have some weight on them. I'd like to get 4 so that I give him wane-free boards. So this should yield 6, and I think 2 of them are going to have wane on them. I did throw myself a centered 12x12 scribble mark on the end of this log just to use as a guide when I'm cutting it, because I don't want to mess it up. And the other thing is, I've got this log leveled a little bit, and this toe board on this end is only up a little bit to get it leveled or centered. And you guys have to remember to tell me to put it down, because I don't want to mess this one up. Got to get this order out of here, and we're going to get at it. A quick little side note, if you watched my sharpening video that came out this morning, after we cut almost 500 board feet of 2x12s over there yesterday, right about 460 board feet yesterday with that resharp Stellicut band that I sharpened. I cut this 6x8 cedar post for another customer. And I'm going to take you in close, and I want to show you how good this band cut, just to show you that the sharpening works. So I'll try to, maybe I get better light if I get around to the side. It cut perfectly smooth. It cut perfectly flat. Nice clean corners, no waves, nothing. This band is cutting awesome, and that's after it cut this post, after almost 500 board feet of that big, huge 16/6 pine log that we had up on the mill. So just want to throw that in here. Now this morning I did set myself up an area over here. I have to cut all these down. He wanted 12 foot and 4 foot, so I cut him a 16/6 log. He wants to take him in 4 foot and 12 foot, so we can put him in the racks of his truck. I hope his racks are pretty heavy duty, because this is going to be, it's going to be super heavy, or he's going to have to make a couple trips. But I've got to cut all these down. I'm going to try to do it right in place here. Keep the 4-footers off, swap the 12-footers onto that bunk. When I cut that 12-foot log, I will put those on here also. But this is going to be a project in itself. These are pretty heavy, a little unwieldy, so to speak. So I'll be sliding, let's just say I'll slide a sticker in underneath one end, mark off 4'3", cut it off, take that off, put this down there, and do that thing for this whole stack. Now there's only 14 of them, but it is going to probably take me longer to cut these down than it is going to be to mill that other log. So look who I have here this morning. We get a guest appearance from Kate. And we're going to start taking this thing apart. You'll get to see how that Stellicut's still cutting. This is going to put us up in probably that 700 board foot range with that resharp. So I think it'll handle it fine. And we're going to get going on it. So let's start her out. So like I said, I mapped myself out a 12x12 on the end of it. Our top cut here is going to be about 16. It looks about right. There's nothing I can steal above it, so that's going to be our first cut, and we'll see what happens. So let's take our top cut here. It's probably going to be pretty similar to the last one. I'm actually at 17 on this side. I'm going to take it right there. Probably would have been better to take that at 16, but we're close enough. I think I'm just going to roll it again. I've kind of resigned myself to the fact that we're going to probably end up with a little bit of wane on a couple of these. I only need 4. I think they're going to come out of the middle. And let's cut the top off this side. I know that I have to go above 12 is all the requirement is here. I'm going to get close to my line, see where I am. I'm going to cut it at 13. So far, so good. In a perfect world, I'd just take it to 12 right now, flip it up and cut it out, but I want to at least give myself a shot at taking some of the wane off it. So let's just go ahead and spin it up. Take the other side off first. So let's take the top off and clean it up. Again, I want to just stay away from 12 if I can. My line is basically at 12 and a half. I think I'm gonna take this one at 13 too. Let's see what that looks like. Stellicut band is just singing through the process right now. Since I don't know what the wane looks like on the bottom, I'm going to shave off the side that's worse right now. Shave it to 12. I think we're going to go right around the horn. I think I'm going to take a flitch off this side and then a flitch off the bottom, and then we'll cut it out. Yeah, it looks like that's going to work out the best. I'm going to take this side right to 12. I think I'm at 13 right now. We'll take this flitch off right here, and then we're going to spin it up. We're going to cut it to 12, and then we'll just mill through it. Looks like I'm only going to end up with wane on one. The bottom one. And that's all she wrote. I'll stop up to the next log, get my clamp out of the way. We'll raise up the toe board so we can grab this with the bobcat. Shut her down. It's a little quicker with the hydraulics, huh, hon?
Yes, definitely. It's really awesome.
The Stellicut band is just cutting great. Perfectly flat, perfectly straight. All the edges are nice. There's no waves in it at all. And that Stellicut band just cuts incredible. Even as a resharp, and now we're getting out to, around 700 board feet on a resharp. We've cut a monster 16/6 log of pine. We cut a cedar into the 6x8 post, and then we cut 6 more 2x12s out of it. I'll give him the 4 cleanest here, and probably just to make sure that he doesn't have any with any wane, and probably 1 extra, so I'll probably give him 5. There's some wane on the one on the bottom. This order will be ready to go out the door as soon as I cut the rest of it apart. So what'd you think of the hydraulics?
That's pretty awesome. The difference is night and day in terms of what you have to do to your body in terms of getting this stuff done, and the fluidity that I'm noticing as you're, kind of experimenting and getting more time under your belt with this is.
Yeah, I've been practicing awesome. Even on small logs, just so that I can get used to turning it. The only decision I have to make is whether I'm going to turn it with the turner sometimes or whether I turn it with the clamp. And I usually wait till it gets down into pretty much a square, and then all I do is turn it with the clamp, so I'm not scarring up the wood. It definitely changes the game. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been worried for a while now because I know he physically can do the stuff. I mean, if you watched our earlier videos, he'd be turning things like crazy. Like, he's super strong. And he knows how to use his body really well because of his professional experiences in the past with concrete and a bunch of other things. So he knows how to use his leverage and all that stuff. But being able to do it in the moment versus long-term sustainability of the tool that is him is something that I've been concerned about for such a long time. And these hydraulics have really been a game changer in terms of getting it done faster, more efficiently, and also not breaking down his body to do it, which is.
Yeah, I think the biggest things for me, if you had to ask yourself, is it worth it to upgrade a mill like this to hydraulics, or should I just sell it and go buy another mill? I think we prove that if you were running a lumber yard and you had a swamper out here and you had somebody dealing with the flitches, and let's just say you had 2 people working with you, you can stay up with them with this mill, and you can run the mill by yourself and have them just offloading and dealing with everything else and sorting and stacking. This is plenty fast like this, even with me pushing it and not having the auto feed. I kind of like, to be honest with you, I kind of like the fact that we don't have auto feed and that I'm pushing it. I think I'm faster, especially with going back. I don't know if that's true or not. Hopefully I'll run the hydraulic mill up at the logging show in May, and we'll see what I think. But, if you were wondering, is it reasonable to add another $10,000 to a mill like this and do the hydraulics? Absolutely. If it'll turn big logs, and this one will, I've proved it. I've maxed it out with big logs. In the beginning, when I wasn't very good at it, it was because of me. It wasn't because of the equipment. The equipment works perfect. So
yeah, and I think back to there are other videos where we talk more about this, but our philosophy with our business, with pretty much everything we do, is learn the intricacies of doing it by hand first. Yeah. Then throw in your machines, and then find a balance between what works best for you in terms of using the parts that benefit.
Yeah, especially with woodworking.
Versus the parts that you can finesse better without a machine.
If you can do woodworking by hand, you can do it with machines.
Yeah.
And not vice versa.
And even me, you don't see me on these videos very often at all. I've been in the background of life through everything, but even putting this machine together, from the beginning, because we started at that level, I have a level of understanding beyond what you would expect, because we've been doing it. I've been seeing all of the parts coming together and have an understanding of how it all works together and what each thing is doing individually.
Yep. And I think the other big game changer for me has been a combination of going to the Stellicut bands and putting the roller guides on. It's just go out, crank the thing up, and go to work. I find such a difference between the ceramics and the roller guides. And not only that, but the difference between the Stellicut bands and a standard band has just been a game changer for me. I don't have to worry that I'm going to wave the crap out of my lumber.
You can really see the difference between both switches.
Yeah, and I don't have to worry that, you know, I'm getting up around 300 board foot, 2 logs, 3 logs, and am I going to change out? I mean, just run the horse out of them, and they continue to cut flat even as they dull. I mean, this one's just cutting great. You know, I do one more decent sized log up here, and it'll be at 1,000 board feet on a resharp, and it's just cutting terrific. So that's been another big game changer.
Yeah, but then also the fact that he has different bands and that he knows the difference between when to use them and when not to use them.
Yeah.
We have a log that has, you know, we know has metal in it. We have a log that we know
the other day, you're going to see that video coming up.
Yeah.
It's in the computer right now.
Yep. And so having the option and knowing the difference and knowing what the benefits and the drawbacks to each of the uses has been really helpful in terms of.
Yeah. I mean, my biggest apprehension to running a Stellicut band is I don't want to use it up. That's my biggest apprehension. Like, throw a bad band on. I'll use these bad bands all day. But if it's something that's not critical and I can put some waves in it, then yeah, by all means, run the other bands. But these things are awesome. Absolutely awesome. So thank you for the watch.
Yeah, you'll see me more.
Yep.
We puttering around and.
Absolutely. Now that we've got the yard marked for Danny here, we have to make sure he's on high alert. He's not going anywhere near the boundary right now. Like, share, subscribe. Also, do me a favor, if you guys look down in the description, you see that affiliate link down there. If you guys go to that affiliate link, if you need something from Norwood, that kind of lets them know that you watched my video and that whatever you're buying maybe came from watching my video. So that does help me out a little bit. So definitely check that affiliate link out, even if you just want to go in and browse around.
Yeah, they're unbelievable about connecting with you, figuring out your needs, and kind of supporting getting you towards where you want to go. So.
Absolutely. And now I just got to go cut apart 12 huge, long, monster 2x12s into 4-footers and 12-footers, and we'll be on to the next part of the day. So appreciate the watch for now. For Kate, myself, and the miscreant over there lying in the dirt, Pirate Solutions out.